Do you want to learn many curious facts in just 1 hour? Subscribe to Zarpado because we are starting now. High-tech toilets come with an automatic lid, a heated seat, and even an LED screen. Some models also deodorize and include water washing functions. They are common in Japan and are spreading around the world. Comfort and technology all in the bathroom. Going to the bathroom has never felt so futuristic. A peculiar challenge that has gained popularity is drinking a Coca-Cola underwater. When the bottle is open, the pressure makes a small bubble of soda escape, but most of it remains trapped inside. The difficulty of this challenge lies in controlling the flow of the liquid underwater. Those who attempt it must be careful because the pressure of the water interferes with the act of drinking. I bet you did not know about the digital translator pen, a device that scans text and translates it in real time. It can recognize more than 50 languages, ideal for students, travelers, or people with dyslexia. You simply pass the pen over a word and it is done. Instant translation on screen or voice. This is L'Oreal Hapta, a robotic arm that applies makeup automatically. It applies foundation, eyeshadow, or blush with precision using sensors and stabilizers. It was created for people with reduced mobility. It is a real step forward in aesthetic inclusion. Accessible beauty with the help of technology. Humanoid robots at Mercedes-Benz are already working in car factories. They walk, carry parts, and reduce injuries in humans. They are programmable and collaborative with proximity sensors. They represent the future of the industry. Factories becoming more automated but with a human style. The human brain, even though it represents only 2% of body weight, consumes 20% of all the energy in the body. This is equivalent to keeping a 20-watt LED light bulb turned on constantly. This energy demand is due to the intense activity of neurons. The brain never completely rests even while sleeping. Sharik Tovar, a young Colombian woman, can sleep up to 70 days in a row, like in a fairy tale. But it is not magic or laziness. She suffers from Klein-Levin syndrome, also known as Sleeping Beauty syndrome, a rare neurological disorder. During those long sleeps, her body rests while her mind disconnects from the world. When she wakes up, she sometimes does not even remember her family. The Plexus sculptures by artist Gabriel Dahl use thousands of stretch-colored threads. These threads create three-dimensional geometric forms that simulate rainbows suspended in the air. The work plays with light perception and the architecture of space. Each piece takes weeks to install and is completely handmade. They are exhibited in museums and galleries around the world. Rodeo wingsuit is an extreme variant of wingsuit flying. It is practiced without a traditional parachute, relying on the aerodynamics of the suit for gliding. Athletes must calculate their route and landing zone with precision. It is a high-risk discipline reserved for experts. Every jump requires training, planning, and optimal weather conditions. In one of the most shocking scenes of Poltergeist, the famous mud pool, the skeleton scene are not props but real ones. The production obtained 3 authentic skeletons from India because they were cheaper than prop skeletons. The actors who participated in the scene did not learn the truth until years after the film premiered. Origami tessellation consists of folding paper to cover a surface without leaving gaps. It is formed from repetitive patterns that fit together like a puzzle. This art combines design geometry and millimeter precision. It is used both for decorative purposes and in structural engineering. The result can be flat or have relief depending on the chosen pattern. Kobiak's technology incorporates void panels to lighten concrete structures. These internal panels reduce weight without compromising the strength of the material. The LG Cinebeam Q is a portable projector that offers 4K resolution in small spaces. It has a compact and elegant design ideal for the modern home. It covers 154% of the DCI-P3 color space, delivering vibrant images. Its automatic focus and connectivity make it easy to use. The Bible is the most translated and distributed book in human history. It is currently available in more than 3,500 different languages. It has surpassed 5 billion printed copies and continues to grow. Plantain is different from the sweet banana because it is not eaten raw. It contains more starch and is used in dishes such as tostones, patacones, or mofongo. It requires cooking to develop its flavor and texture, where it is essential in Caribbean, Central American, and African cuisine. Extreme ironing is probably the most unusual sport you have ever heard about, ironing clothes in extreme places. From the top of a mountain to underwater or hanging from a statue, everything counts as long as there is an ironing board. It was born in the United Kingdom in 1997 and mixes domestic activity with adrenaline. Ironing while skydiving also counts. A very creative way to keep shirts perfectly pressed and full of excitement. In the 19th century, the trend of headless photographic portraits appeared. They used double exposure techniques or negative montage. They were popular for their macabre and illusion-like visual effect. They reflected the Victorian taste for the occult and the theatrical. Or they also showed the creativity of photographers of the time. Voyager Station is a space hotel project developed by Orbital Assembly. It plans to open in 2027 as the first tourist station in orbit. It will offer artificial gravity luxury rooms and views of Earth. It will have capacity for 400 people in constant rotation. It is a step toward commercial space tourism. In the village of Huanglo in China, women of the Yao ethnic group wear hair longer than 6 feet. Yes, just like Rapunzel in real life. For them, hair is a symbol of luck, longevity, and beauty, and they cut it only once in their lifetime. They also keep it dark and shiny with an ancestral secret, washing it with rice water. The armadillo lizard is a South African reptile with hard scales. It rolls into a ball to protect itself from predators. And it lives in rocky areas and is active during the day. Its appearance gives it a prehistoric and robust look. It is protected because of its rarity and limited habitat. Scientists have created genetically modified mice with genes from the woolly mammoth. These mice have greater resistance to cold because of proteins adapted from that extinct animal. The experiment helps study evolution and adaptation to extreme climates. It also opens ethical debates about genetic modification. It is another step toward de-extinction. Many ancient statues have broken noses for different reasons. In Egypt, they were symbolically damaged to kill the figure spiritually. In other cases, they are due to natural erosion or structural fragility. The nose protrudes and is more vulnerable to impacts. Hot Licks is a brand famous for selling candy with edible insects. They offer chocolate-covered scorpions, barbecue worms, and chili-flavored crickets. They aim to normalize the consumption of insects as a source of protein. Their products mix surprise flavor and alternative nutrition. They are popular at fairs and curiosity shops. A maelstrom is a whirlpool so powerful that it forms when two currents meet, creating a moving vortex. In the Viking era, these whirlpools were feared for their ability to sink large ships with ease. Although modern ships are generally safe, cruise ships caught in one can still face giant waves. In extreme situations, a maelstrom can act like an underwater black hole, swallowing everything in its path. The marimba is a percussion instrument with wooden bars and resonators. It produces sound when struck with mallets, creating warm melodic tones. It has African origins but is very popular in Latin America. In Guatemala, Mexico, and Costa Rica, it is part of traditional folklore. Its music accompanies celebrations, ceremonies, and concerts. The French press is a classic method for preparing coffee. It consists of infusing ground coffee with hot water and then pressing a mesh filter. It does not use electricity or paper filters. The result is a full-body coffee with an intense flavor. It is valued for its simplicity and effectiveness. Lowrider bicycles were born in Chicano communities in California during the 1960s. They have high handlebars, low seats, and striking decorations. They are a symbol of identity, creativity, and cultural pride. They are used in exhibitions, parades, and competitions. They represent a fusion between lifestyle and urban mechanics. Mark, the Wilson Airless Basketball is a 3D printed ball that does not need air. It has a perforated structure that maintains its shape and consistent bounce. It was designed to resist deflating forever. Its technology redefines the future of sports. Still in an experimental phase, it promises to revolutionize basketball. Ant baths, or anting, are a behavior observed in birds such as crows and blackbirds. They rub ants on their feathers to release formic acid. This helps eliminate parasites and care for their plumage. Sometimes they lie down in ant colonies for this purpose. It is a fascinating example of animal self-protection. In a surprising King Kong exhibition at the Empire State, the iconic New York Tower was transformed into a surreal scene. The windows were replaced with monitors showing impressive views of the city while a pair of fake hands of the giant ape emerged from the top. Manatees are aquatic mammals that live in warm, shallow waters. They are herbivores and eat algae, seagrass, and plants. Their slow movement makes them vulnerable to collisions with boats. They are protected in several countries because of their threatened status. They are known as sea cows because of their appearance and behavior. Hermit crabs change shells as they grow because they do not have their own hard shell. They use empty snail shells and sometimes objects like caps or fragments. Some species live on land while others live in the sea. They are social and form groups where they exchange shells. Their behavior has been documented by biologists with great interest. The Sumaya Museum is located in Mexico City and was designed by Fernando Romero with guidance from Frank Gehry. Its facade is covered with more than 16,000 aluminum hexagons. It exhibits European and Mexican art and sculptures by Rodin. Admission is free, encouraging access to culture. It is one of the most visited museums in Latin America. A paint stripper is a chemical product that removes old paint from wood, metal, or concrete. It can be solvent-based or water-based depending on the use. It is applied with a brush left to act and then removed with a scraper. It is ideal for restorations or color changes. It should be used with gloves and good ventilation. Airy Mask is a smart mask that filters PM 2.5 particles, viruses, and allergens. It works with a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 8 hours. It is ideal for cities with high pollution. It combines protection with comfort for prolonged use. It also allows better breathing than traditional masks. The Black Panther helmet has LED lights that turn on with motion sensors. It is a functional replica for collectors or cosplay. The design is inspired by the cinematic version. Some models include voice-activated sound. The floating globe uses magnetic levitation technology. It floats without touching the base and rotates slowly in silence. Some models include LED light for nighttime use. It is an educational and futuristic decoration, ideal for offices, classrooms, or modern desks. Foldable solar panels inspired by origami can be folded and deployed easily. They generate up to 25 watts, which is enough to charge phones or tablets. It fits inside a backpack and is ideal for camping or travel. It is resistant to water and dust. It offers portable, sustainable energy instantly. Rocket One is a resin 3D printer that prints vertically with high precision. It is ideal for jewelry prototypes and miniatures. It uses LCD technology and fast ultraviolet curing. Its compact design allows use at home or in offices. It achieves fine details in short times. The magnetic digital timer attaches to metal surfaces such as refrigerators or ovens. The SharkBot, or remote-controlled shark, is a water robot with a fin that moves like a real fish. It swims in pools and responds to remote controls with precision. It is perfect for pranks, games, or demonstrations. It has a rechargeable battery and a hydrodynamic design. Some models can even perform turns or gentle dives. GPD Pocket is a mini PC with full Windows functions and an AI chip. It fits in the palm of your hand and has a sliding keyboard. It is ideal for programmers, gamers, or digital nomads. Its power is surprising for its size. It includes USB ports, HDMI, and expansion slots. The automatic fish feeder programs feeding schedules and the daily amount of food. It can be controlled through Wi-Fi from a phone. It is ideal for aquariums or fish tanks with several species. It prevents overfeeding and keeps the water cleaner. Some models include a built-in camera. The Light GT4ES are electric off-road vehicles designed for extreme maneuvers, which they have reinforced suspension, high-performance brakes, and immediate acceleration. They are ideal for jumps, rocky terrain, or mud. They also make no noise, a silent beast for off-road fans. The transport of the submarine U-17 was a logistical odyssey that lasted 2 weeks. Roads were cut and bridges were lifted to pass with millimeter precision. The objective was to take it to a German museum. It was an engineering spectacle. Seeing it on wheels was something unique in naval history. The mini cab is a closed scooter with four-wheel traction and internal heating. It is designed for people with reduced mobility or elderly users. It has a roof doors and resistance to rain. It works like a small personal car. Comfort and autonomy in any weather. Pixstar smart photo frames receive images remotely through an app. They have a full HD screen Wi-Fi and can show automatic slideshows. It is perfect as a gift for grandparents or family members far away. The photos change every day. A living album in your living room. This is the Rabbit R1, an intelligent assistant the size of the palm of your hand. It has a touchscreen camera and responds to voice commands. It can schedule tasks, play music, or give directions. It is like having a mini personal assistant all day. It even fits in your pocket. The spiral candle has 2 stages. First, a decorative flame for 1 hour. Then a wick falls, activating 3 more hours of ambient light. Its spiral shape creates a hypnotic effect while burning. It is decorative and functional at the same time. Very popular in interior design. Water yoga is practiced on floating platforms or in a pool, and the instability of water activates more muscles than on solid ground. It improves balance, concentration, and strength. It is also used in physical rehabilitation. It is a complete exercise with low impact. The anti-stress pen has ergonomic ink flow and a design that reduces hand cramps. Its body includes texture springs or magnets to keep hands entertained. It is designed for people with anxiety or long writing work. Some models include moving clips or rotating mechanisms. It is useful in offices and schools. Illusions painted on hands use the trompe-l'œil technique or trick for the eye. They look like 3-dimensional sculptures, but in reality they're only flat paint. Perfect perspective and mastery of shading are required. The result deceives the eye at first glance. It is body art with a striking visual effect. The Sphinx moth caterpillar is known for its large size and green color. It has a horn-shaped spine on its back that makes it unmistakable. It feeds on leaves from lilac and ash trees. Before turning into a moth, it digs into the ground to pupate. It is part of a fascinating metamorphosis process. A power bank is a portable battery that recharges phones, tablets, and other devices. It charges through USB and its capacity varies according to milliamp hours. It is essential for travel or emergencies without access to electricity. Some include solar charging or multiple outputs. They have revolutionized the way we use mobile technology. Cone snails have a very powerful neurotoxic venom. They inject it using a retractable harpoon hidden in their radula. Some species can be dangerous to humans if handled incorrectly. When their venom is used in pharmacological research because of its unique properties. They live in tropical marine areas rich in biodiversity. Waffle fries, also known as waffle potatoes, have a grid shape. They are made using a special mandolin that creates crosscuts. They are popular in chains such as Chick-fil-A and are fried to become crispy. Their design allows them to hold sauces and seasonings. They are a classic fast food item with a creative touch. Old typewriters worked with a mechanical system of type bars. When a key was pressed, the corresponding bar struck an ink ribbon against the paper. The result was a printed letter with a single movement. This mechanism was essential in offices and newsrooms for decades. Although obsolete today, they are objects of collection and nostalgia. The plant grafting allows two different species or varieties to be joined together. The upper part, called the scion, is attached to a compatible rootstock base. This improves resistance to pests or diseases and optimizes production. It is common in fruit trees such as citrus apples and grapes. It is also used to replicate plants with desired characteristics. The Atacama giant is a geoglyph located in the Chilean desert, the largest of its kind in the world. It measures about 282 feet in height and represents an anthropomorphic figure with solar features. It dates from 1000 to 1400 AD and was created by pre-Inca cultures. It is believed to have been used to mark the agricultural calendar or religious rituals. The green flash is an atmospheric optical phenomenon that occurs just at sunrise or sunset. It happens when sunlight refracts through the atmosphere at the exact angle. It lasts only 1 or 2 seconds and requires a clear sky. It is more common over the ocean or places with a clean horizon. It has inspired legends and appearances in films. The Lego Supra is a functional replica based on the Toyota GR Supra, where it uses traditional building pieces and electric motors for propulsion. It can reach speeds of up to 17 miles per hour, which is impressive for its size. It includes a steering wheel and real-scale wheels. It is a project that combines engineering and entertainment. Tightrope walking is a circus art that requires extreme balance. The performer walks on a stretch rope, sometimes at great height. Core strength, concentration, and coordination are necessary. It can be combined with dance acrobatics or musical instruments. It is one of the classic acts of the traditional circus. Candied chilacayote is a traditional Mexican dessert made from squash. It is slowly cooked with piloncillo cinnamon and sometimes cloves. The firm texture of the chilacayote prevents it from falling apart while cooking. It is popular during celebrations and fairs. It represents the richness of the country's traditional cuisine. In Ubud, Bali, there is the renowned restaurant Taman Dadari, famous for its impressive angel sculptures. Some of these figures reach heights of about 33 feet, dominating the landscape with their majestic presence. The atmosphere combines local gastronomy with a unique artistic and spiritual environment. In Arizona, United States, there is a canyon that was not formed by earthquakes or eruptions, but by water and time. It is called Antelope Canyon, and its wavy walls look like petrified silk or frozen flames. The light entering from above creates such intense effects that the place seems like an art installation from another world. Have you ever imagined an insect so bright and perfect that it seems made of blown glass? It exists. It is a species of cicada nymph from Thailand that before reaching adulthood has a body so translucent it reflects light like a living jewel. Its appearance is completely crystalline with no visible pigmentation, and its body looks like a combination of ice and gelatin with moving internal structures. Poutine is a Canadian classic made with French fries, gravy sauce, and cheese curds. But in Quebec, someone decided to say, what if we make it completely ridiculous and expensive? That is how a version with foie gras, which means duck liver, black truffle, and even edible gold was created. What began as fast food for hangovers turned into a dish worthy of a 5-star restaurant. Today, he is known as the tough guy from Die Hard, but Bruce Willis did not always have that confident, sarcastic voice. Oh, and as a child, he suffered from a severe stutter that made him shy and made socializing difficult. Until one day, by accident, he was placed in a school play. Something magical happened when he acted. He stopped stuttering completely. The stage became his therapy. You stand in front of the ocean at night, and suddenly every step you take in the water leaves a glowing blue trail as if you were stepping on liquid galaxies. It is not magic, it is bioluminescence. This phenomenon happens when certain marine microorganisms, such as dinoflagellates, emit light when disturbed. What nobody completely understands is why they evolved to do it. defense, communication, or something else. The pistol shrimp, also known as the alphead shrimp, has a modified claw that can snap so quickly that it creates a cavitation bubble. What happens to that bubble? It explodes at about 62 miles per hour, producing a shock wave that stuns, kills, and even cooks small prey instantly. In the Sadari Mawe tribe of the Amazon, teenagers must pass through a brutal test to prove they are already men. It does not involve running or fighting. It involves putting on gloves filled with bullet ants and enduring the pain. These ants have the most painful sting in the world, according to the Schmidt Index. The pain is so intense that it can cause hallucinations, partial paralysis, and vomiting. South Korea offers one of the most extreme culinary experiences called sanakji, a baby octopus served cut into pieces but still moving. Yes, the tentacles continue twisting on the plate when it is served. How is this possible? Even though the animal is already dead, the nerve cells still react to salt and touch, creating those movements. Meanwhile, the diner tries to catch it with chopsticks while the food escapes. Imagine walking through a landscape so perfectly reflective that you cannot tell where the sky ends and the ground begins. That is how surreal the Salar de Uyuni is, the largest salt desert in the world, located more than 11,800 feet above sea level in Bolivia. During the rainy season, a thin layer of water covers the salt flat and transforms it into a giant mirror. It lived more than 500 million years ago during the Cambrian period, and its name says everything. Hallucigenia is so strange that it looks like a hallucination. It measured only a few inches, but that did not make it any less bizarre. It had an elongated worm-like body, pointed legs underneath, and spines on top. The strangest part is that for years scientists drew it upside down, believing the spines were legs and the legs were tentacles. In the picturesque Andalusian town of Setenil de las Bodegas, architecture literally merges with geography. Its houses are not built on top of rock, but instead carved and adapted beneath massive stone overhangs that seem to float above the streets. In the iconic San Siro Stadium, located in the Italian city of Milan, a curious visual effect confuses many visitors. The exterior stairs of the venue seem to be spinning. However, this strange sensation is nothing more than an optical illusion caused by the constant and orderly movement of spectators going up and down. In some cities in China, there are constructions known as nail houses, an urban phenomenon that symbolizes individual resistance against the relentless advance of real estate development. These homes remain standing alone, surrounded by roadworks, shopping centers, or massive housing projects because their owners firmly refuse to sell or move out. The black bear can go months without eating, urinating, or defecating, and still wake up almost as strong as when it fell asleep. During hibernation, its body converts urine, which would be toxic if it accumulated, into proteins to keep its muscle mass intact. If a human stayed in bed for the same amount of time, they would lose all their strength and become incapacitated. The bear instead leaves the cave ready to hunt. And there is a small marine mollusk nicknamed the blue dragon that feeds on venomous jellyfish. It is called Glaucus atlanticus and floats upside down on the ocean surface with an appearance that seems taken from a science fiction movie. The most impressive part is that it is not only immune to the venom of the Portuguese man-of-war, but it also stores that venom in its own extremities to use it as a defensive weapon in an even more concentrated and lethal form than the original jellyfish. In the United Kingdom and France, there was once a tax that charged homeowners according to the number of windows their house had. People began sealing their windows with bricks to pay less, which created a public health crisis due to the lack of ventilation and natural light. Even today, you can see old buildings in London with fake windows made of brick, silent witnesses of one of the most absurd laws in the history of European taxation. GPS satellites carry ultra-precise atomic clocks, but because of Einstein relativity, time passes faster for them than it does for us on Earth. The difference is about 38 microseconds per day. If engineers did not constantly adjust those clocks to compensate for that difference, your GPS would accumulate errors, and within a few hours, it could tell you that you are several miles away from where you actually are. Ostriches never bury their heads in the sand. What they actually do is lower their long neck toward the ground to check their eggs or search for food, and from far away, their feathers blend with the sand, giving the impression that their heads are buried. The kiss in weddings has a legal origin, not a romantic one. In ancient Rome, kisses were not only gestures of love, but also a way to seal contracts. When a couple married, the final kiss served as the official seal of the marriage agreement, symbolizing the union of their souls, but also of their rights and properties. Over time, this custom passed into medieval Europe, where priests also incorporated it into the religious marriage ritual. The dung beetle can push a ball of waste that weighs 1,141 times its own body weight. To imagine it, this would be like an average human pushing 6 double-decker buses full of people at the same time. It is considered the strongest animal in the world relative to its size, and has been studied by engineers who seek to apply its mechanical principles in robotics and construction materials. Cavities are transmissible, and most people do not know it. The bacteria Streptococcus mutans feed on sugar and release lactic acid, which dissolves dental enamel. A mother can pass these bacteria to her baby simply by sharing a spoon or cleaning a pacifier with her own mouth. It is not only a matter of personal hygiene, but an infection that spreads between people without most of them realizing it. The Noctilio bat is an expert fisher that can catch up to 30 fish in a single night. Although we usually associate bats with insects or fruit, this one uses echolocation to detect the waves fish create when they touch the water surface. With disproportionately long, curved rear claws, it catches its prey while flying low over tropical rivers and lakes. It is one of the most sophisticated hunting adaptations in the animal kingdom. The largest helicopter in the world, the Russian Mi-26, can lift up to 44,000 pounds of cargo. Its 8 rotor blades have such a large diameter that they cover the surface area of a 10-story building. It is so powerful that it has been used to rescue other crashed helicopters in the Himalaya mountains to transport entire frozen mammoths discovered in the Siberian permafrost, and for humanitarian missions in areas where no other vehicle can reach. Almost all phone brands use Gorilla Glass, a glass that is immersed in a bath of potassium salts at 752 degrees Fahrenheit. Potassium ions insert themselves into the glass structure, compressing the surface, and that internal compression is what gives the glass a resistance to impact far greater than normal glass. If your phone screen has ever broken, it happened because the force of the impact exceeded that compression, not because the glass is weak. The Tahina spectabilis palm from Madagascar grows normally for 50 or 80 years, and then suddenly in a single event, it spends all the energy accumulated during its life in an explosion of hundreds of flowers at its crown. This massive flowering drains so many nutrients from the tree that once the seeds fall, the palm collapses and dies from total exhaustion. In Monaco, there is no personal income tax, but to obtain residency, you must deposit at least 500,000 euros in a local bank and prove that you have enough assets to live without working. To complete the picture, the average price per square foot is around 4,600 euros, which turns this principality into something similar to a private club for millionaires on the scale of a country. And all of that in a territory that fits inside New York Central Park with plenty of space left. The Teide volcano, the highest peak in Spain, projects the largest shadow in the world over the ocean. At sunrise and sunset, that shadow falls across the Atlantic, forming a perfectly regular triangle, even though the volcano itself does not have a perfect geometric shape. This effect happens because of atmospheric perspective, and is so large that under certain conditions it can partially cover the island of Gran Canaria, located dozens of miles away. And the bananas we eat are all genetically identical clones, and because of that, they could disappear all at once. Almost all bananas in the world belong to the Cavendish variety, and since they do not have seeds, they reproduce through cuttings in an asexual way. This means that if a fungus appears capable of killing one, it can kill them all, because none of them has different natural defenses. It already happened in the 1950s with the previous variety, the Gros Michel, and it is happening again in exactly the same way. The hot air balloons of Cappadocia fly at sunrise for physical reasons, not because it looks better in photos. At sunrise, the air of the Earth is very cold and dense. The hot air inside the balloon needs that temperature difference to float strongly. And as soon as the sun heats the ground, the outside air becomes lighter, and the balloon loses its lifting capacity, making the flight unstable and dangerous. It is pure physics, not aesthetics. Trams carry boxes of sand to help them brake when it rains. If the asphalt or iron rails are wet, the tram would slide when braking like a sled. For that reason, near the wheels there are containers of fine sand. When the driver brakes hard, a mechanism releases that sand directly in front of the wheel to create friction and prevent the vehicle from sliding. It is a surprisingly simple system for one of the most dangerous problems in urban transport. Deer antlers are the fastest growing tissue in the world. While they grow, they are covered by a velvety skin full of blood, and they can grow up to about 3/4 of an inch per day. It is a bone growth speed so extraordinary that science studies it to understand how to heal human fractures faster and even to research how to control the uncontrolled growth of cancer cells. What looks like just a natural ornament is actually one of the most fascinating biological phenomena that exist. Keeping your phone plugged in all night damages the battery even if the device stops charging when it reaches 100%. Heat is the worst enemy of lithium batteries, and being plugged in warms them. Over time, that excess temperature reduces their capacity to store energy, which is why your new phone does not last as long after several months of use. The ideal charging range is between 20 and 80%, and companies know it, but they do not say it because a battery that lasts less sells more phones. Where cheetahs, despite being the fastest land animals, cannot roar. Instead, they produce a soft, high-pitched sound similar to the call of a large bird. Their vocal system is designed for that type of chirping, which allows them to communicate at short distance without alerting larger predators or their prey. And when they are happy, they purr exactly like a domestic cat. An adult cheetah capable of running at more than 62 miles per hour sounds like a kitten asking for food. The real color of farm-raised salmon meat is gray, and the wild salmon are pink because they eat crustaceans that contain red pigments. Farm salmon feed on industrial pellets, and their meat would naturally be gray, which is not appealing for the market. Because of this, producers add pigments to the fish feed, so the meat develops the orange-pink color that consumers expect to see in supermarkets. The color is not natural, it is designed. The color of an eggshell depends on the color of the chicken earlobes. There is no nutritional difference between a white egg and a brown egg. The general rule is simple chickens with white earlobes lay white eggs, and chickens with red or brown earlobes lay brown eggs. It is purely a genetic trait of the breed with no effect on flavor, yolk size, or nutritional value. Wolves howl in different tones to make enemies believe there are far more of them than there really are. Each wolf howls at a different frequency and constantly changes pitch during the howl. This makes a pack of only 5 wolves sound like 20. It is a perfectly developed psychological warfare tactic used to intimidate enemies and defend territory without risking direct physical confrontation. The airbag sensor is not a button activated by impact, but an accelerometer, which is a tiny chip that measures sudden deceleration of the vehicle. If it detects that the speed drops so violently that it can only be caused by a collision, it sends an electrical signal to a chemical detonator. This detonator burns a pellet that releases nitrogen gas at incredible speed, inflating the bag in only 30 milliseconds. All of this happens before your head has moved 4 inches toward the steering wheel. The Empire State in New York has its own postal code. The building is so large and so many people work there, more than 20,000, that the United States Postal Service assigned it the code 10,118. It is almost like a small city built vertically inside New York, with its own independent mail system separate from the surrounding buildings. The left lung is smaller than the right for a very specific reason. Because the heart tilts toward the left side of the chest, the left lung must be slightly smaller and has a small notch called the cardiac notch to leave space for it. Nature is completely practical. It does not waste space and designs organs, so they fit perfectly together, even if that means having two lungs of different sizes. Reindeer eyes change color depending on the season of the year. They are the only known mammals that do this. In summer, when there is plenty of light, their eyes are golden. In winter, after months of Arctic darkness, their eyes turn deep blue. This change helps them capture more light and see better in the dimness of the long polar winter. It is such a specific evolutionary adaptation to the Arctic environment that it does not exist in any other species. The honey badger can receive the bite of a king cobra, faint for a while, and then get up and continue its day as if nothing happened. Its immune system can neutralize the venom within hours. On top of that, its skin is so loose and elastic that if a predator grabs it, the badger can literally twist around inside its own skin to bite the face of its attacker while it is still being held. The caps of soda bottles have a small transparent plastic ring inside the bottom. That is what actually keeps the gas inside. Without this piece, the plastic of the cap could not seal the microscopic imperfections of the bottle rim, and the drink would lose all its carbonation within hours. The next time you open a soda bottle, look carefully inside the cap. That small, almost invisible ring is the reason sparkling water arrives carbonated in your glass. At airports, runway lights form a mirror-based system that tells the pilot if the plane is too high or too low during approach. If the pilot sees two white lights and two red lights, the plane is on the perfect glide path. If all the lights appear white, the aircraft is too high and will overshoot the runway. If they are all red, the plane is too low and risks crashing before reaching the runway. It is an elegant and effective visual system that has saved thousands of lives. Mercury thermometers are banned on most airplanes because mercury can dissolve the aluminum that airplanes are made from within minutes. This process is called amalgamation, and it could create a hole in the fuselage during flight if the thermometer breaks. A substance that seems harmless at home can be extremely dangerous in an airplane flying at 32,800 feet and about 500 miles per hour. Your bones are hollow inside and have an internal structure called trabecular bone that resembles the shape of the Eiffel Tower. This lattice design makes the bone extremely light, so you can move quickly but strong enough to withstand pressures that would crush a solid block of concrete. Nature designed this structure long before human engineers reached the same conclusion when building bridges and skyscrapers. Moldova is home to the largest wine cellar in the world called Milești Mici, with more than 124 miles of underground tunnels. Employees move through it by car or bicycle, following real traffic signs installed in the corridors, so they do not get lost among the millions of bottles stored there. It is practically an underground city dedicated entirely to wine, with its own traffic rules and internal signage. The three-point seat belt was invented in 1959 by Swedish engineer Niels Bohlin for Volvo, and the company decided to release the patent so any manufacturer in the world could use it for free. Volvo realized that the value of saving lives was infinitely greater than the commercial value of the patent. This altruistic decision is considered one of the greatest contributions to public safety in the history of the automobile, allowing the seatbelt to become a global standard. Sloths move so little that algae and even a complete ecosystem of insects often grow in their fur. Their coat becomes a living micro-ecosystem. The algae even give them a slight green tint that improves their camouflage among jungle leaves. In addition, that layer of algae attracts moths and beetles that live in symbiosis on the sloth body. The relationship is so sophisticated that the sloth does not even need to move to maintain it. Shrimp have their heart in their head. Their anatomy is very different from ours. The heart is located in the cephalothorax, just behind what we would consider their face. And in addition, their gills are also located at the base of the head, protected by the shell, which means most of their vital activity is concentrated in the front part of their body. It is as if humans had all their vital organs packed into the head. There is a muscle in your wrist that no longer serves any purpose. Place your hand on a table with the palm facing up and touch your thumb to your little finger while slightly lifting the wrist. If you see a tendon standing out in the center, you have the palmaris longus muscle. About 15% of the population no longer has it because evolution is gradually removing it. It was a muscle used by our ancestors for climbing trees. Plastic grocery bags were invented in Sweden in the 1960s with the intention of saving trees. And at that time, paper was used for everything, and the inventor believed that a strong plastic bag that could be reused many times would prevent massive deforestation. The problem was that consumers started throwing them away after a single use, turning an ecological solution into one of the largest plastic pollution problems in history. The canned food container was invented 48 years before the can opener. In 1810, Peter Durand patented food preserved in iron cans for the British Navy. It was a brilliant invention for preserving food, but they forgot to solve how to open them. The original instructions said you had to cut around the lid with a chisel and a hammer. Soldiers often had to open them with gunshots or bayonets. The wheel-style can opener was not invented until 1858, almost half a century of frustration later. The black mesh on the door of your microwave is a cage that protects you from being cooked. The holes in that mesh have a very specific and carefully designed size. They are large enough to let visible light pass through, allowing you to see the food inside, but they are small enough to block microwaves, which have much larger wavelengths. The waves bounce off the mesh and return inside. Without that grid, the microwave would irradiate you as well. Your nails grow faster on your dominant hand. If you are right-handed, the nails on your right hand grow slightly faster than those on your left. This happens because you use that hand more, which increases blood flow in the fingers and creates tiny micro-injuries while typing or gripping objects. This stimulates the body to produce more keratin and repair the nail more quickly. The body is always repairing what is used the most. The star-nosed mole has the fastest sense of touch in the entire animal kingdom. Its snout is covered with 22 fleshy appendages that contain more than 25,000 tiny tactile receptors. It can identify whether prey is edible in only 8 milliseconds, which is much faster than the time it takes for a nerve impulse to reach the brain of most animals. Its nose processes tactile information at a speed that seems like science fiction. On the ropes that divide lanes in competition swimming pools are not just decorative floats, but are specifically designed to absorb and disperse waves. They are made of individual discs that rotate around the central cable. When a wave hits them, the energy is dispersed through the rotation of the discs instead of passing into the next lane. This ensures that the waves produced by the movement of one swimmer do not affect the performance of competitors in neighboring lanes. Certain species of cockatoos are among the few non-human animals that display a genuine ability for musical rhythm. They can synchronize the movement of their body, head, and feet precisely with the tempo and variations of music, not only keeping the beat but adjusting to changes. And this ability was once believed to be exclusive to humans until researchers documented it in these birds. What surprised scientists the most was that cockatoos can anticipate rhythm changes, not just follow them. The city of Naples is not only near Mount Vesuvius, but is built on top of a dormant supervolcano called the Phlegraean Fields. This vast underground volcanic caldera regularly experiences ground movement and seismic activity. Experts consider it one of the most dangerous volcanic systems in Europe, and millions of people live directly above it, without most of them being aware of the risk beneath their feet. The air recirculation button in a car is not only for summer. By recirculating interior air in winter, the heating system does not need to constantly warm cold outside air, which saves fuel and allows the cabin to heat much faster. And however, it should be used in moderation because if the same air keeps circulating for a long time in a closed vehicle, the oxygen level gradually decreases. It is useful for heating quickly, but not for long trips without ventilation. The air inside a tire acts as one of the best shock absorbers in the world. With solid rubber wheels like those of a cargo cart traveling by car, would be an unbearable nightmare. You would feel every grain of sand in your spine. In addition, at high speeds, solid rubber would heat so much from friction that it would eventually melt or explode because it has no way to dissipate heat like an air-filled tire does. The pneumatic tire is one of the most underestimated inventions in the history of transportation. In Giethoorn, a village in the Netherlands, there is no asphalt and no cars. It is known as the Venice of the North because all the houses are connected by canals and more than 170 wooden bridges. To go to the supermarket or visit a neighbor residence, use silent electric boats called whisper boats. The loudest sound you will hear in that village is ducks on the water or the wind through the trees. It is a place that feels frozen in time. The Arc de Triomphe in Paris is not empty inside. It contains a 3-story museum and a network of passages that lead to the top. In addition, after the First World War, a French pilot named Charles Godefroy managed to fly his biplane through the opening of the arch to celebrate the end of the conflict. It was a maneuver so extremely dangerous that it was filmed and remains one of the most daring acts ever recorded over Paris. Dogs can move their ears independently thanks to 18 different muscles. This allows them to locate the exact origin of a sound in less than 0.06 seconds, functioning like parabolic antennas that filter background noise with a precision humans cannot even imagine. When you see a dog move one ear to the side while leaving the other still, it is literally triangulating the position of a sound like a biological radar. Euro coins have different national designs depending on the country that minted them. A German coin has an eagle, a Spanish coin has the king, and an Italian coin has Dante Alighieri. You can trace the entire cultural history of Europe simply by carefully looking at the coins in your pocket. Each country prints the same denominations, but with completely unique national designs that function like small metal embassies circulating throughout the continent. When the synovial fluid in your knees is the most efficient lubricant that exists, surpassing any synthetic oil created by human industry. Under pressure, it becomes thicker to separate the bones and prevent wear. When you stop moving, it becomes liquid again to nourish the cartilage with nutrients. It is an active, adaptive lubrication system that the best engineers in the world have still not been able to replicate artificially with the same efficiency in such a small space. Wagyu beef is incredibly tender because its fat melts at room temperature. Unlike conventional beef fat, which is saturated and solid, the fat of Kobe cattle has a chemical composition similar to olive oil. If you place a piece of this meat on your tongue, the fat literally melts with the heat of your mouth at 98 degrees Fahrenheit. That buttery sensation that melts in your mouth cannot be achieved with any other meat in the world. The Tower Bridge in London is not built from stone, but from Victorian steel disguised as a medieval castle. Inside, it is pure 19th century steel, but it was covered with granite and Portland stone only so that it would visually match the nearby Tower of London. What you see from the outside is a decorative shell designed to hide the modern metal structure that powers the mechanism that lifts the walkways every time a ship passes. Saffron is more expensive than gold because harvesting it requires manual work that no machine can replicate. Each crocus flower has only 3 red stigmas. To obtain 2 pounds of saffron, workers must collect about 150,000 flowers by hand, and everything must be done within a period of only 2 weeks each year before the flowering ends. It is a process of such extreme precision that human fingers remain the only effective tool. That is why authentic saffron has the price it does. Royal Deluxe makes giant puppets up to 49 feet tall that parade through the streets. Mythological creatures, enormous girls, and wooden elephants transform cities into colossal fairy tale settings. In the Netherlands, there are more bicycles than inhabitants. More than 22 million bikes compared to fewer than 18 million people. Bike paths crisscross cities, countryside, and even bridges, all adapted to pedaling. Even in winter, bikes rule the car. Rimac Nevera, lightning on wheels, from 0 to 60 miles ph in just 1.7 seconds, and up to 249 miles ph in less than 18 seconds. An electric racing car that overshadows combustion engines, Croatia created a silent monster with the soul of a rocket. The E-216, an electric airplane with an eco-friendly heart, a top speed of 81 mph and a range of 22 miles. A futuristic design with a clear objective: to fly over urban traffic, a flying capsule with ambitions to be the taxi of tomorrow. Protoclone Bone, a robot with more than 1,000 synthetic muscles, a butler of the future that washes, cooks, and vacuums, a polymer skeleton and almost human-like movements, a new generation of domestic assistants, more science than fiction. Kim Kardashian turned her ID photo into a Hollywood production. Makeup, lighting, and angles for a perfect result. Criticism arose for exaggerating an official document. She responded, "Beauty doesn't ask for permission, not even on a driver's license." Lorenzo Posen creates insects so lifelike they could fly. Mosquitoes and bees made with resins, silicone, and an obsession with detail. Each antenna and wing perfectly reproduces its natural model. Entomological art with the soul of a scientific laboratory. Roller coasters are tested with mannequins and water bags. They simulate the weight and behavior of real passengers. Engineers adjust seat belts and structures without risking lives. Safe fun thanks to tests without screaming, but with precision. Atlas, the Boston Dynamics robot, dances, jumps, and does backflips. Circus-like balance, athlete strength, and human agility. A prototype designed for both disasters and shows. The robotics with the most flow on the planet. In Cambodia, elephants sabotage sugarcane trucks to steal their cargo. With prodigious memory, they detect which vehicle is carrying the sweet loot. They stop traffic with their bodies and enjoy their reward, nature, and intelligence at their finest. The world's largest paintball lives in Alexandria, Indiana. Since 1997, it has added layer upon layer until it weighs over 8,800 pounds and measures 18 feet around. An artistic project that never stops growing. In Helsinki, a Ferris wheel with saunas instead of cabins. Each gondola is made of wood and equipped with hot steam, a ride with panoramic views and wide-open pores. A Finnish tradition with a literal twist of innovation. Giant viruses like the Mimi virus and the Pandora virus seem like they're from another dimension. Similar in size to some bacteria, they have hundreds of previously unpublished genes. Scientific challenges that redefine what we understand by life. Microscopic monsters that change the game. The asteroid, Psyche 16, could make every person on Earth a millionaire. Gold and precious metal reserves are estimated at $100 quadrillion. Located between Mars and Jupiter, still beyond human reach, space mining already has its first tempting treasure. A hummingbird weighs less than 0.1 ounces, about the same as a coin or 3 paper clips. Despite its lightness, it flies with surgical precision, hovering and performing impossible maneuvers. A nectar-powered aerial marvel. Acne is not caused by poor hygiene, but is actually a battle of your immune system. On the skin of almost every person lives a bacterium called Cutibacterium acnes. The problem begins when a pore becomes blocked with oil. The bacteria gets trapped and begins to multiply. And if you made it this far, thank you very much for the support. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment which fact surprised you the most. See you in the next video.